Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Bad Toy Reviews. Today we're looking at this Luke Skywalker figure. It was a European con exclusive. It marks how Luke looked in the Star Wars comic book from the first 6 issues that were called Skywalker Strikes. I purchased this at GameStop, and you'll see it opens here and reveals pretty much the Yavin Luke from the most recent wave of the Black Series figure, but without the metal. But he does come with a ton of other accessories. We've got his lightsaber, his blaster, this blaster effect to go on the lightsaber, a training droid with a stand, the journals of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the box for the journals that says in Arabic for Luke. And of course he's got his X-Wing helmet with the blaster shield on it as seen in A New Hope. Something interesting about this box is the accessories and the figure both. There is not a piece of plastic separating them from just the open air. As you see here, I can manipulate the figure. I can pull this helmet out. So if you're buying these at GameStop, I would highly suggest that you make sure all the accessories are there, because there is nothing keeping them from the outside world. There's a piece of tape here over this blast effect, but that's about it. So let's get this guy out of the package and we'll take a closer look at it. Alright guys, now that everything has been freed from its plastic prison, we'll take a look at the accessories first. First up is the helmet here, which appears to be Luke's X-Wing helmet with the blaster shield down. There is no chin strap like on the regular X-Wing helmet, which you can see here. So there's the two side by side. So this is a completely new piece. There with the blaster shield. No chin strap, so it should go on and off relatively easily. Let's grab Luke here. And I was wrong. It still presses down pretty hard and does not come off so easy. So be careful putting this on and off, because you are likely to rub paint off the hair there. The hair does appear to be a separate piece. We'll get into Luke a little bit later. But here is the, let me get him out of the way so we don't draw focus. Here is the blaster helmet. You know, you saw it in A New Hope. It's pretty cool. Next up is the training droid, which is a very cool addition to this figure. Get it as close as we dare. So there's the training droid. The stand that it's on is very cool because the stand is articulated as well. So it's a ball joint. You see there, you have to put it together out of the box, but it moves around side to side, around, up and down. Well, not up and down, but you get it. There's that. Here's the blast effect for his lightsaber. And it clips on. And now he can be deflecting fire. But it clips on very easily. And we'll segue into talking about the lightsaber here. As you can see, it is the Skywalker lightsaber that originally belonged to Anakin and was passed down to Luke by Obi-Wan and ends up in the hands of Rey in the newer movies. It is a new piece. Here is the Skywalker lightsaber that came with X-Wing pilot Luke from the Archive series. You see here it has the ring on the back. This one does not have such a thing, and it's actually a new sculpt, or at least a new piece. It's not quite as long. It's a little bit bigger in diameter. Even the fins on the front are a little bigger on the new one here that came with the Skywalker Strikes Luke. And you can see the blades are a slightly different shade of blue, and this one here is noticeably wider. So the blast effect does not fit on the older lightsabers. It'll go on there, but then it just moves up and down freely. So bear that in mind if you're planning to use that with something else. Here is Luke's blaster that goes in his holster. Standard fare there. Just another blaster for the accessory bag. Here is the Journal of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is what it says there in Arabic, I believe. It's just a book, but it will be a good background piece for you diorama folk. So there's the book. The print on the front there is, like, it's not just painted on, it's pressed in there. So if you want to throw a wash over this book and make it look a little bit older and dirtier, you can certainly do that. There's a texture here on the back. And here's the box, which in Arabic says for Luke. And if you read the Skywalker Strikes storyline, you'll see he goes, after the Battle of Yavin, he goes to Tatooine, looking through Obi-Wan Kenobi's home, trying to learn more about him, learn more about Vader. And he finds this box with the journal inside. And then there are a few issues later in the series where it's from the journals of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is very cool. It's a very good read. If you're not reading the Star Wars comic and you're into Star Wars, I would highly suggest it. But the book goes in there. It clips here to close. You're all going to have to be cognizant of how many times you open and close this, because this piece is going to wear out. You can see there mine already has a hole in it. So that is going to wear out eventually. I don't imagine the failure point is going to be too far in the future with constant open and closing. So now that we've looked at the accessories, let's take a look at young Skywalker. The likeness on this figure is great. Again, Hasbro and their face painting technology only gets better and better, it seems. The hair is a separate piece. So if you're interested in boiling and popping that off, you should be able to accomplish this. It does have the new neck, where the neck is a separate piece stuck in there with a ball. And of course the head would pop off as well. There's the body. And the arms are the standard Black Series arms with the elbows stuck in a socket there. There's a holster for the blaster. And, you know, essentially this is how Luke looked at the end of A New Hope in the Yavin ceremony, which I do have the Yavin Luke as well that comes with the medal. I do have a gripe with this figure. Mine has a little bit of, I guess that's from where it was pulled off the mold, but there's a plastic nub right there. And there's a little bit of inconsistency with the paint, but that is not my big gripe. My big gripe is the legs. I'm not sure if we can get in there, but instead of being the standard T-joint, it is more like a Y, like the Obi-Wan Kenobi figure, that if you've watched any of my videos, you've heard me complain about. It makes bending the leg up a bit cumbersome. You have to actually pivot it around and then turn the leg like this. Like if you wanted to put him in the speeder or whatever, it doesn't just bend up. You have to bend it around and then turn the leg. I don't like these joints. Like I said, if you've watched some of my other Star Wars videos, I gripe about the joints a lot. The standard double knee there and the ankle articulation is also pretty standard, where the foot rotates on the peg like that. But on a whole, I do like this figure. I remember being a kid and seeing Luke in this outfit at the end of A New Hope. Back then it was just called Star Wars. And I always hoped this costume would come back, but it did not. So, but just a comparison with other Luke figures. Put him in the middle. And here is Farm Boy Luke, although he is he does have the head of the Archive series X-Wing Luke, because the head that came on this figure was pretty terrible. And there's X-Wing Luke. Sorry, my background here is shifting with the weight on it. But X-Wing Luke there. He is just... So I finally got X-Wing Luke to stand. But there's X-Wing Luke. And of course, Bespin Luke, not the greatest likeness. Don't know who that is. I guess it's sort of passable as Mark Hamill. Although that was the early days of Black Series. They've come quite a long way since then. And here's the old Jedi Luke. Well, not old Jedi Luke. It's Return of the Jedi Luke. You'll have to excuse me. These have been in a bin, so the feet are any which way but straight. Alright. Bear with me. So there's Return of the Jedi Luke. And here is Old Man Luke from The Last Jedi. We'll just stick him over here because we have filled the frame with Luke Skywalker. But yeah, hips notwithstanding, it's a very good figure. And the accessories that come with it are pretty great too. I like it quite a bit. It's my go-to Luke Skywalker now. I hope at some point they'll release a New Hope Luke that doesn't have the soft goods here. I'm not a huge fan of soft goods. But yeah, what's your favorite Luke Skywalker? Leave a comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Bad Toy Reviews.